Yeah, yesterday we have discussed of the JDK installation, right? So which version is going to install which version, right? So actually I have given the link for this link I have given, right? Initially. So in this link, maybe you people are done trying to download of Java 19 Windows part maybe. Okay. Instead of this, go for little bit come down. You will see of Java 8 and Java 11. Okay. So for time being, you can use of Java 8. Okay. It is of anyhow it is a long term support is there till 2030, no issue. So you can download of Java 8. So in this it will show of Linux, Mac, Solaris and Windows. So if you based on the operating system, some people are working on Mac means then you can go for Mac and then you can download it. Okay. So most of the people will go for Windows, I'm thinking. So you can download of 64-bit only. Maybe most of the people will work on Windows 64-bit, I think. Okay. So you can download of the second one. Okay, which is there. Second one, download it and you can work on that. You can install that. Is it clear, guys? This is the one. Okay. If already installed means let it leave it. Okay. If anyone is not installed, you can go for this approach. Okay. Java 8, this version. Okay. Is it clear, guys, or not? The download and the installation. I think some people yesterday already installed for, and they were asking of some which one is installed, right? I saw in the chat. I think Vetri or someone maybe. Instead of going for this one, go for Java 8, guys. Okay, or Java 11 also. Anything. Now coming to along with Java, along with JDK, we need of one more software to write our code. So to write our code, we need of some IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. Okay, so for that, what you people can do is like you need to download of Eclipse. You need to download Eclipse. I'll give this link in the chat. I'll give that link in the chat. So you people can download of the 64-bit version. Okay, by default it will show based on the operating system. It will show which version is that. So you can download of the 64-bit version. Okay, and it will give off some zip file. Okay, like like yeah, like this. Okay, like this it will give. So just right click on that and extract here. Extract here. Do that. It will create a separate folder and then like this. Okay, inside this open Eclipse, double click on this one, double click on this one, it will open ID. Okay, now you can give some path. Let's say by default it will give some documents folder path, some path. Okay, now instead of that, create one folder. Okay, create one folder, go to D drive or E drive or wherever you want. Okay, create one folder. Okay, I have created of Java John Batch core Java workspace. So copy this path, copy this path. Okay, and paste here, paste it here, copy that path and paste it and click on open. Okay, it will open the Eclipse IDE. It will open Eclipse IDE. Let's see, it is running. See, it will open, it will open like this. It will open that window. Okay, so it will open the window like this. Once you are giving that folder path and click on OK, the Eclipse will be open. Okay, so now here we need to write our code. Everyone will write code inside the IDs depends on the ID whichever they are using in the companies, either Eclipse or STS or NetBeans or IntelliJ. Depends on their companies licenses. They are working on their own IDs. Okay, but the features is almost like this only. Okay, now this is the Eclipse IDE, guys. Okay, now coming back to our language fundamental. This is the initial setup for writing any Java code. Okay, the compulsory we need of IDE, or even we can write in the Notepad plus plus also, but that is not good. It is a time consuming and it is a headache. Okay, everything we need to take responsibilities. But in case of IDE, if any error we did a mistake also, so the IDE will give some suggestions. Yes, this is where you are doing some mistake. Just you need to rectify that. Like that, it will give some syntax errors. Okay. Now coming back to language fundamentals. This is the starting class. Okay. Now as part of starting of core Java. Okay. Start of core Java. We need of some. We need some basics before going to write classes, methods, variables. We need have some basic understandings. Okay, so as part of that, the first one is identifiers. Identifiers, keywords, data types, literals, arrays, types of variables. Okay, like this, there are some these things are there. Okay, command line argument, how to pass, and what is the main method, how exactly the Java coding standards, how to write the Java code, okay, proper Java code, okay, by following some rules, by following some rules, how exactly we need to write the code. All those things first we will see as part of language fundamentals, okay, before going to actual codings, okay. Now, first one, what is identifier? The first one is what is identifier? Okay, we are writing some code. Okay, we are writing some code means for each and everything we will give some name. Each and everything, class name, variable name, method name, for each and everything we will give up some name. Okay, okay. Let's say one thing, how we are going to identify out of you guys based on the name, right? Based on some name. Let's say Petri is there, Anusa is there, or some people Shravan is there. Like that, how you people are I am identifying by using some identifier, that is name. Correct or not? So in the same way, in Java also, we need to give some identifier for each and everything. Okay, to identify that. Let's say for example, okay, a name, a name in the program is an identifier. It may be a class name, or it may be a method name, or it may be a label name or property name. Okay, let's say for suppose, let's say for suppose we are human, right? Okay, let's say we are human. So compulsory we need to start everything. So software means it is a combination of collection, sorry, classes, right? Everything will write in the form of classes and interfaces. Okay, now let's say, right, I will write off one class. Okay, class human. Okay, human. What is the behaviors of human, guys? Okay, reading. Reading on behavior or not? Right, guys? Hello. Reading is one behavior, right? It is a operation, right? Eating is also one operation. Eating is also a one operation, or we will call it as a method. We'll call it as a method or operation. Okay. Now, so every method should, it may be open brace and curly brace and some parentheses, open and close. Then I can say this is one method. Whatever that is reading, that we can write all the statements or lines of code within this curly brace. Okay, then I can say this is one method. Okay, let's say if you want to write eating related some statements, then I can write off all the lines of code within this eating method, open brace and curly brace, and this, within this we will write. Okay, but so before that, Before every method, compulsory we need to write off some return types. Some return types. Let's say reading. Okay, what type of book you are reading? I want to know that. Okay, let's say I'm reading a Java book. Okay, return type is Java. Okay, now retu return of Java. Okay, and every statement must be end with semicolon. Every statement end with semicolon within method, guys. Okay, now this is one type of operation. This is one type of return biryani. Okay, so let's say assume of this is one more type of or food. Okay, it is a food. Okay, now this is one method and this is another method, right? So what is the properties? This is the operation, right? Eating, reading, okay, running, walking, anything is some operations or methods. It is doing some action, correct or not? It is doing of some action, or we can call those as a operations or methods. Okay, now let's say there are some other properties also everyone can contain. Okay, so height is one weight property or not, right? Guys, height is one property or not? 6 inches. Okay, and everyone contains like two hands, two legs, like that, right? Those will call it as a properties. Those will not give any action, right? Those are giving some information. We'll call it as a properties. Okay, or variables. We'll say like it is a variables. Okay. Now, what is the name of this class? Human. Okay, what is this? Reading and eating, these are methods. Okay, and these are variables. Okay, if that is not performing any action means then we can say it is a property or variables. We'll call it as a variables. The terminology is like we can call it as a variables. Okay, in the same way here also, like test is an identifier to identify the class name. Okay, add is a method or operation to add two numbers. What it is defining? The add is itself is giving some meaning. The meaning of add is it is going to add some numbers, right or not? So I can say it is one action or one method or operations. Okay, now there are given two variables, int a equal to 5, int b equal to 10. What is int? That I will tell you soon. Okay, now that is a data type. That is a integer. Int is a data type. Okay, that we'll see soon in the coming next few minutes. Now, so each and everything is we are giving some identifier. Okay, right or not? For each and everything we need to give off some identifier wherever you want to use. By using that identifier we can use that property or method or class. Okay, is it clear, guys? What is class? Class means it is a one real time entity. One real time entity. It contains of operations and variables whichever it is required. Okay, guys. Now, now, whenever we are defining any identifiers, whenever we are defining any identifiers, we need to follow some rules. We need to follow some rules. We should not give like anything, okay, which is in the keyboard. We should not give everything. It will not accept. Okay, so for that we need to follow up some rules. Only some limited characters, only some type of characters only it will allow. What are those means? A Java identifier is a sequence of characters. It is a sequence of characters. It is contains all characters only. Test class, right? Now, where each character may be a letter from small a to z or capital A to Z. Okay, it is a characters. Apart from characters, what are others it can accept a class or a method or a variable, whatever it is. Okay, what other things it can accept apart from characters means it can allow of the digits from 0 to 9. Okay, and the currency symbol of dollar, currency symbol of dollar also it will accept. Okay, along with that connecting punctuation hyphen also it will allow. Okay, if we are using any other symbol, okay, compiler will not compile the code. Compiler will not compile the code. It will say like illegal character, illegal character. Okay, now let's say we will create one class. We'll create one class, and we'll see of that some practices. Okay, we'll see some practices also. Now, coming to Eclipse. I came to Eclipse directly. So, in the Eclipse, directly I can't write class. Directly I can't write class. So, compulsory we need up some file, right? We need to write all this code in some file name. Correct or not? The name of the file must be, okay? You can give whatever the class is there. You can use of that class name. Okay. Now, before going to create the class, before going to create class file, we need to create one project. We need to write this class inside project. Okay, we need to write that file inside project. Now let's how to create a Java project. Simple core Java project. How to create means now once you open this Eclipse, once you open this Eclipse, guys, this is always will work on the Eclipse only, guys. Okay, you will be familiar with this soon. Okay, now so what we need to do is like we need to go to file. We need to go to file. Now go to file. Okay, go to file, go to new, click on Java project. Click on Java project. It is going to create a Java project. It will open on dialog box. Give the name of the project. Core Java. Core Java. Core Java programs or programs. I will write all programs inside this project only. Okay, I will write all the programs I can write within this project. Okay, even if you want to create, we can create of other project also. Okay, for time being, I am creating one project. Now, what is the Java version that you are using that you need to select? Okay, and apart from that, click on next. Click on finish. So now it is created one project. The project structure will come in the left hand panel. Okay, in the left side panel we can see of the project which we are created. All projects will come and display in the left side only. Okay, in this panel. In this panel is the right. Wherever I am, my cursor is there. You need to see the projects here only. Okay, if you are created, you can see here only. Now just there is one arrow is there, right? Click on that. So it is expanding that. So our source file, what is the source file, guys? Source code is a which is high level code, right or not? That source code we will write inside src folder only. Src folder only. Once that is compiled, the compiler will keep the dot class file inside bin folder. That is compiler responsibility to keep the dot class files, generated dot class files inside bin folder. Okay, now our source code we will write inside src folder. Here right click on that, click on new. Now we are going to create of one class. Okay, one class. Click on class test. Right, now click on finish. Don't do anything. It will create one class. See, public class test is created. Okay, now why public means that I'll tell you later. Okay, soon we'll learn all those things. Public will discuss maybe in the couple of days, okay, later. Okay, now so whatever that I have added here, let's copy paste, void add, right? Now Vivo ID. What is meaning of void? That I will tell you soon today only. Okay. Now add to open bracket and close bracket and to curly brace. Open method and closed method. So if any single closed bracket is also not there, it will give off error. See, it is giving off error. Okay, 1 second. Let me increase font size. I think it is better light, guys. Clear now compared to previous. Yeah. Now if if you are writing inside the notepad, the disadvantage is it will not give any compilation errors, right? If where is the error is there. But in case of IDE, if you are using IDE, if any mistake you are done also, it will show that. See, if you are doing that, it is a mistake is there. So inside that we have created a two variables simply. Okay, int a equal to 5, right? 5, and int b equal to 10. Okay, int b equal to 10. See, every statement should end with semicolon. Okay, every statement should end with semicolon. If it is not ended with semicolon, see, it is giving up error. Okay, add semicolon, it is gone. Okay. Now, so the valid identifiers are so it is it can accept of a to small a to z and capital A to z, and 0 to 9 also it will accept. Okay, and connecting punctuation dollar also it will accept. Connecting punctuation, sorry, currency symbol as well as connecting punctuation hyphen also it will accept it. Okay, now apart from these two, if you are giving off any other things, if you are giving off any other things, it will give off error. Okay, just simply, yeah. See, whichever it is, what it contains, guys. This line, it contains only alphabets, so it is not giving up any error, right? It can accept of numbers also, but not starting, You can give inside that. We can give off inside, but starting should not start with digit. Okay, it can accept of digits but not starting. Okay, and one more thing, it can allow with underscore, that is of connecting punctuation. Okay, underscore, with this also we can create a variable. Okay, and this is of currency symbol. Okay, with this also we can create. Apart from this, if you are using any apart from that, if you are using of any other symbols, then it will give off error. See, syntax error on at the date symbol. If you are using of one more any other things, see, it is giving off error. Okay, yeah, please. Which symbol? Yes, it is valid. So what I'm saying here, any which is starting from A to Z, capital A to Z, and not starting from 0 to 9, it's not starting with the variable name. Okay, but in between we can use it, and after currency symbol it can start with currency symbol also, but after that we can use of 3 any number. See, no issue after saving also, but it should not start with number. Okay, and if you are giving off any other symbols, if you are giving off any other symbols, it will give off error. Here not any special character. If you are using underscore and apart from a dollar symbol, okay, it will give off error. Is it clear? It is the some rules we need to follow whenever we are writing any variable names or class names or method names. Okay. Now next, and I am giving up below. So an identifier should not starts with digit. Okay, if you are starting with the digit, it is giving error, right? That also I have given point. Identifier should not starts with digit. Okay, and there is no length restriction. There is no length restriction. We can write off anything, but it is not recommended to use more than 15 length. It is not recommended to use more than 15 characters. Okay, we can. It will not give any error, but it is not a recommended approach. Okay, and Java identifiers are case sensitive. What is mean by case sensitive, guys? Smaller case and uppercase is there, right? Whatever that we are using, we need to use same as wherever you are using that. Okay, let's say for example, let's say, yeah, if I'm using of int number, okay, equal to 10, okay. In the same way, int capital N remaining is small. This is 10. Next, one more int, all are caps. Okay, this is also a number, right? But all these are different. It is treating like it is a case sensitive. Okay, let's say for suppose give 20, 30. Okay, if I am printing the values, if I am printing the values, means printing means we need to write some main method so that you people will, let's say, write off. We need to use of static variable. So what is static? I'll explain that also, guys. So we need to create a object for that. Okay, what is the object? All those things I'll explain. Is of some non-static variable. It is a method, right? We will write off some, write it outside also, no issue. Okay? Now, if I'm printing smaller number, it will print off only 10. It is a case sensitive. That's what it is telling. Use that number. This system.out.println is to display the value. What is the use of main method? Means JVM will run. JVM will run or execute the class. It will start from main method or operation. Okay. From this method, JVM, who is going to execute our program? JVM, right? JVM will start the execution always from main method only. Always from main method only. Okay, now let's how to run the program means right click on the program, run as Java application, run as Java application. It is printed 10, right? Now if I'm giving of capital number, if I'm giving of capital number, now let's see, now it is going to print off which number, guys? What is the output you are expecting now? It is a case sensitive. Whichever the value is assigned to this capital number, what is the number it is assigned for this? 30. Yes. If you are modifying any other things also, okay, while giving of this, if I'm giving smaller letter, it is saying that the number cannot be resolved a variable. There is no variable with that num num be is the capital letters and r is small letter. With that, it is searching for is there any variable is available in the class. It is not there, so that is the reason this variable is not identified, not resolved. Okay, that means that by seeing this, should understood it is a case sensitive. Okay, guys. Now, next, now all predefined classes, all predefined classes, what is mean by predefined, guys? What is mean by predefined? Predefined means Java people, whenever you are downloading the Java software and installed, right? So they given some classes, predefined classes, who given by Sun Microsystem or Oracle people given some classes as part of software. We will call them as a predefined classes. Predefined classes, interfaces, whatever that is there, we'll call them as a whatever that is coming as part of software, we'll call them it as a predefined classes. Okay. Okay. Predefined classes and interface, it is there. So we can use those class names or interface names as a identifiers. Okay. As a identifiers, but it is not a recommended approach. It is not a recommended approach. Let's say for suppose int, there is a class called string is equal to, okay, just assume. Now there is a class called, just control, press control and go to mouser. It is a predefined class. It is a predefined class is there. Okay. So we can use this predefined class name as a variable, as a variable, but that is not a recommended approach. Okay. We can use any predefined classes or interfaces as a identifier, as a identifier, but that is not a recommended approach. Okay. That's what the meaning of this one. All predefined class names and interface names we can use as a identifiers. Okay, but it is not recommended to use them. Okay, is it clear, guys? Up to now, is it clear? If not clear, I'll repeat it again. If anything is not clear, up to now, just we are identify only identifiers is learned. Okay, what are all the names that we can give to the a class or a variable or a method? Okay. Now, the second part is keywords or reserved words. Reserved words means, what is mean by reserved words, guys? Just it is general asking I am question. Reserved means that is already someone is using. So only for particular purpose only that you will use that word. Correct or not? Right? Those are, let's say for example, in Java, there are some identifiers are there already, reserved identifiers. Only we will use those identifiers. Only we will use those words as a reserved words. Let's say for example. So here what is that? It is a class. Okay. If I'm keeping any other thing, it will not accept. Right. So how we are going to identify this? By using this class. It is a keyword. To create any class, compulsory we need of one keyword, that is called class. It is one keyword. We should not use any other place this one. If you are trying to use also, it will not accept. It will not accept. We should not use this reserved keywords as our class name or variable name or method name. Okay, those represent some functionality. Those represent some functionality. Each reserved word will represent a functionality. So we should not use those reserved words as a our class name. Okay, let's say I should not use this one. Okay, it will not accept that. So like that, any reserved words, there are 53 reserved words are there. So those reserved words we should not use for our class name, for our variable name, for our method name. Okay. Now let's go back. Okay. Some identifiers are reserved. Some identifiers are reserved to associate some functionality. Reserved for to associate from some functionality. To create a separate class, we need of class keyword. We need of class keyword or class reserved word. Okay. To create a int number variable, we need of int data type. Sorry, int type. It is of to store this number 10. to store the value 10, I'm giving some identifier as a number. Identifier as number. What is the type of this number is int. Integer is a one type. It is a data type. What type of data it is? It is a data, right? 10 is one type of data. Okay. So what is the type of this data? I'm giving as integer. Like that, there are multiple data types is there that will soon now only. Now coming to, so reserved words are 53 reserved words are there. Out of that, 50 keywords is there. Three reserved literals are there. Three reserved literals. Those is like true, false, and null. Okay, these will called as a reserved literals. Okay. Now, what are the keywords? Okay, class is one keyword. Okay, int is one keyword. Static is one keyword. Okay, void is one keyword. Public is one keyword. Okay, all these are keywords, reserved keywords. It will represent some functionality. Okay, that will see why, where we'll use all those things. Okay. Now, out of 50, we are using of only 48 keywords only. Out of 50 keywords, 48 we are using. There are two unused keywords. Those are go to and constant. These two keywords we will not use due to some security reasons. Okay. Now we'll see the rest of the 48. Now come down. Yeah, the keywords for data types. Keywords for data type. What is meaning of data type means? The meaning of data type is like if you are storing up some variable or some data. So what type of data it is? Okay, what type of data it is? So if it is a number related one, then we can store in integer data type. If it is a name related or string related, name means then we can store in string class. Okay, if it is a uh, decimal point related, if it is a decimal point related, then we have a data type called float or double. Okay. Now it is a small integer. Okay, then we can store one type of data type. One type of data type will use if it is a bigger value. If it is a 200, then we need to use of different data type. That is, if it is a within some range is there, minus 128 to minus 127 to 128, then we can use of one data type called byte. Okay, now all those things we'll see soon. To represent some data, to represent some data, we will use of these data types. Okay, either character or boolean or decimal point or integer value, whatever it is, we will use of one data type to store the specific values or variable values. Okay, that variable must be a some type. Okay, that types, what all the types that we can represent, all those things are here. Byte, byte is one data type. Short is one data type. Int is one data type. What is the range? How many? What? How much value it can store? Based on that, we need to choose which data type. Okay. Let's say if you want to store up a small value, then I can go for byte. If you want to go for some bigger value, then I need to go for short. If you want to go for big value, very big value, then I can go for int. If you want to go for very big values, then in that case we can go for a long data type. That what is the range of that values also I'll explain now soon. These are the keywords compulsory we need to use to keep some data type values. We need to use of these data types. Okay. Now next, if you want to use of any conditional code, guys, I'll explain all these keywords on demand basis. Okay, but these are, remember, these are reserved words. Why do we need it? If you want to do offer some conditional logic code inside your code, conditional logic code, okay, then we can use of if else. Okay, if else condition, to conditional based logic condition, you want to write some Java code, then we can use of if else condition. If is one keyword, else is one keyword. Okay, these keywords we will use in case of flow control. Okay, on conditional base we want to execute some code, then we need to use of these keywords. Switch, case, default, do, while, for, break, continue, and return. These are all some keywords we will use in case of flow control. Okay, and next, if you are writing some code, you may get off some exceptions in the code. Okay, for that purpose, these are the reserved keywords to handle the exceptions. To handle the exceptions, these are reserved keywords. Try, catch, finally, throw, throws, and assert. By using these keywords, we can handle the exceptions. We can handle the exceptions in the program or in the class. Okay, next, there are some modifiers. Modifiers means, so we are writing some class, we are writing some class, whether this class can be accessible by some other people or not. Whether I am writing some code, so this is one class I am returning, whether I should allow this class to access of other people or not. Okay, whether I should allow to access this class, this method, this variable. Okay, that type of accessibility we can give by using of this modifiers: public, private, protected, final, abstract, static, native, synchronized, volatile, transient, and strict fp. These keywords we will use to restrict the access of some variables or class or methods. Okay, we need to use of these keywords. Next next, class related. Okay, class related keywords. If you want to create of one class, we'll use of class keyword. To create of interface, we'll use of interface keyword. Okay, to create of any package, we'll use of package. Like that, class related keywords are class, interface, package, extends, implements, and import. These are class related keywords. Okay, now next, object related keywords. Object related keywords means, so guys, you need to remember for time being. Okay, now object related keywords are new, instance of, super, this. Okay, these are four keywords which will be used at the time of object creation. Object creation, what is object, that we will see in the next class. Next, void is also one type of keyword. Void is also one type of keyword. Okay, let's say for example a equal to 10. Give it all these things. Int b equal to 20. Okay, I want to do addition of these two numbers and display. So in that case, what I can do, system dot out dot before that, this is a class. First we need to call this non-static method. If static keyword is there in the method name, then it is a static method. Okay, if static keyword is not there in the method, okay, we'll see in detail. For time being, just assume. Okay, if static keyword is there in the method, directly we can use of class name dot method name. Okay, let's say static. If I want to combine these two values, a and b, what is the output, guys? A and b value output 30, right? If I want to display the 30 value on calling of this method, if I want to return this method something, just add these two values and return that value, that I will display here. If you want to return this method some value back to the caller, wherever you are calling this method, it should return that value means, then compulsory we need of other than void. So void means it will not return anything. The meaning of that. Okay. If it is a, what is the int a plus b? it is of int type only. Okay, just for timing, int type only. Now return, it will return that, it will combine both values, and it will return that 30. Okay, I am combining a plus b, it will return 30. So if I want to call this method, it is a static method, we need to use of class dot add of, and write this method or inside system.out.println. Now let's see, it will print that, it will calculate that value, and it will print the sum. Okay, sum is, okay, sum is, this is the syntax guys. Okay, we will follow that syntax. You people also will learn it. Run it, modify and run it again. Sum is 30. Okay, so how it is? So I'm calling this method inside the main method. Okay, if this method is not returning, if I'm giving void, it will not return that value, and we should not write return statement also at the last statement. If it is a return statement, we should write. If it is anything that method is other than void is there, then compulsory we need to write return statement. Return statement is compulsory. Control back. Now go back. So void is the return type. For explanation of this purpose, I explained the above. Okay. If method does not return anything, if a method does not return anything, I don't want to return this method anything, then in this case we can keep it as void. Okay. In this case, I can keep it as void. In that case, we need to call, it will not return anything, right? Directly control X. No need to write this. Okay, directly you can write off system.out.println a plus b here only. Just call that text dot add method, it will display that value 30. Okay, I'm calculating that sum inside the method itself. Okay, I'm calling and displaying, printing also here. That calling is done in the main method. That all those things we'll learn later guys. Okay, for time being, just listen about these keywords or reserved words. Unused keywords are go to and constant. These are due to some security reasons we are not using of this one. The go to is security reason, and constant is already there is other keyword, that is final keyword is there to represent constant. The next one is enum. Enum is also a keyword. Enum is also a keyword. Where we will use this enum keyword means whenever you want to represent the group of constants, constants that will never change. Then in that case, I can use of enum keyword. That in case I can use of enum keyword. So I'm giving an example of enum directions. So at any point of time, any other direction will come here. At any point of time, any other direction will add fifth one, or only four. Guys, it is one constant group of constants, guys. Constants. Okay, if you want to maintain group of constants in a single keyword, that in that case I can use of enum keyword. Okay, that we'll see slowly. Okay, now literals. Now literals. Literals is true, false, and null. So always, let's say for suppose, of a greater than, let's say remove, keep that, and a greater than b, a greater than b. What you are expecting guys, is it true or false? A greater than b, what it will give? What is meaning of that guys? What it will give? false, right? So that is, it will not change anything, right? It will give off either true or false. Any other value it will give. Let's see, if I'm giving less than, it will give off true. Correct or not? Let's say, save it. It is returning of true, right? If I'm giving greater than, save it, run as false. So this will call it as a literals. Okay, this true and false values will call it as a boolean values. The type is boolean. For the boolean, we can give only two values, either true or value. That is a reserved words, reserved literal words. Only those two only we can give. If we, let's say it is a int type, right? We can give any value for this, right? But if it is a boolean means we can give off only either true or false. Either true or either true or false only we can duplicate variable. Okay. C. Okay. C means, now for this C variable, I can give only either true value or false value. If I am trying to give any other values, it will give error. It will give off error. What is the error? Cannot convert from integer value to boolean. Okay. If I am giving off some name, okay, wrong. Now, in this case, it is giving us some error, cannot convert from string to boolean. So, it will allowed values are for the boolean is only true or false, true or false only. Okay, and the null is there is one more that is called as null. Okay, where is that? Null, default value for any object reference. Any object reference means, so if you are creating a, let's remove this static keyword, means to call this method compulsory we need to create a object of for this test class. What is object means? It is the blueprint of class. It is the blueprint of class. Okay, by using that object we can call that methods are variables. Okay, how to create object means, test t equal to new test. Okay, this is one way of creating object. Okay, by using this t I can call up this method. Okay, let's t dot add. So it is the blueprint of the class. By using this t variable I can represent of entire class, the method name, variable name, anything. By using this t I can represent. That is where we will call it as a object is a blueprint of a class. Okay, now maybe I think for today's it is enough, guys. Just read this all these key constants and identifiers, and if you want you can read it below. I can explain it tomorrow's class, in the next class. Okay, guys. So maybe you people can read it. Maybe if you want you can practice this, at least read it or listen it again. Okay, tomorrow I will explain, or in the next class. Okay, or in the next class I will explain all the data types, all the data types one by one. I will explain that. Int is there. Okay, int, byte, short, long, float, double, boolean, char. These are all primitive data types that I will explain in the next class. Okay, what exactly it will represent, these all these things. Int means int, byte, short means how much, what is the number it can store. Okay, what is the range it can store, what is the size. So if you are writing some code means, if you are writing some code means, internally JVM will assign some memory for this line. For this line it will assign some memory. On what basis it will assign some memory? That is based on the type, based on the type, it will assign some memory. Okay, that all those things we will discuss in the next class, guys. Okay, is it fine, guys? Maybe we'll meet in the next class again. Okay, and one more thing, please download Eclipse. Okay, and make it ready for programs, to write the programs. Okay, yeah, thank you, guys. We'll meet in the next class again. Yeah, thank you.